Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you to each of the witnesses for being here for your testimony. Mr. Masterson, in 2017, the Department of Homeland Security declared state election systems to be critical infrastructure. Can you discuss what the practical effects are of this designation and what DHS has done differently since that designation with regard to state election systems?
Yeah, thank you, Senator, for the question. The focus of our work in declaring elections as part of critical infrastructure is threefold. One is ensuring that state and local election officials have access to timely information shared with them such that they can mitigate risks that arise to their system. So this is largely done through our Information Sharing and Analysis Center, of which all 50 states are members. So we routinely share information out through the Information Sharing and Analysis Center to ensure election officials have the information they need, whether general or technical, to protect their systems. Second is providing services to those state and local officials on a voluntary basis. We provide on-site risk and vulnerability assessments, remote cyber hygiene scans, assessments on resilience readiness in order to help support those state and local officials should they need it. The third is working at the federal level with the intelligence community to ensure that intelligence is shared in a timely and actionable manner. One of the lessons I think we all learned from 2016 is to ensure that the system owners and operators, those in charge of elections, are empowered through receiving information and intelligence to protect their systems. And so we've been coordinating with the intelligence community across the federal government to ensure that that information is shared.
In March, Congress allocated $380 million of new spending to be put towards election security. How is that money being spent? What sort of oversight controls are there to make sure the money is actually being put to good use, helping make elections more secure?
I'll defer to my colleagues on the EAC.
Yes, we have run that money through our grants division in the Election Assistance Commission. Most of the money is being used for cybersecurity efforts and for upgrading voting systems, especially the ones that are quite old. We are requesting all of the states, requiring of all the states to provide a narrative and budget along with their drawdown of that money, and we will be auditing how that money is used, and every state will be audited on their use of the money and whether it was used appropriately.
How significantly do you all assess the threat of an election being directly hacked in terms of the results at the ballot being altered electronically?
I would say that, Senator, it would be very, very difficult to do that, given the dispersed character of our election infrastructure. We have 8,000 jurisdictions. None of the machines are connected to each other, so each machine would have to be hacked individually, and that is one of the greatest securities that our election system actually has. So it would be extremely difficult to do that. That said, you know, every system is vulnerable and things can happen, but election officials are extremely vigilant. We do logic and accuracy testing on every single machine before it's used in an election. That's open to the public so we can check to see that the machines are actually recording the votes correctly. There's numerous ways to check it afterwards. We discussed earlier some post-election audits. So it would be very hard to do that. However, I can't ever say impossible.
And am I correct? There's obviously been a lot of discussion about 2016, but am I right that there are no indications that there was any actual hacking of election equipment that altered outcomes?
We do not know of any outcome that was hacked or changed in any way. What happened in 2016 has been characterized by Undersecretary Krebs as overstated, and that it was mostly drive-bys and scans. We actually see thousands and thousands of these types of scans every single day across the nation against every single system. So I would say that we are concerned about security of the system, of the entire election system. Nothing happened in 2016, and the real untold story is that the election officials did their job and they kept the system safe from any sort of hacking.
What would you characterize as the most important security reform that state election authorities should put in place to ensure the integrity of the ballot process?
I would say that we need to ensure that the confidence of the voter remains high, because if we erode that confidence, the voters are not going to come out and actually cast their ballots. So I think from A to Z, basically from voter registration all the way to election night reporting, all those points are valid and important.
Thank you.